Good evening and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala, glad to have you along. Crosstown rivalry, brother.
I'll tell you what, we picked a good game for week number 3, didn't we? John Glenn coming over to Ed Harvey Field to take on the Garber Dukes. These teams love playing each other. There's no love lost between them. We're expecting a great game tonight.
We get weather in week 3 like we expected in week 1 with 1 and 2. We had jackets on. This is a great night for football, though.
It was cold that first 2 weeks, but tonight we're in the, I don't want to say we're at kickoff time. It's going to be in the high 70s. It's just beautiful. There's not a lot of wind. We're going to have a great crowd. Looking forward to a wonderful football game between two teams that really go at each other.
Well, they're very familiar with each other.
They are.
And off the field, a lot of them play other sports together, but tonight they don't have any friends till before or after the game.
Once you get between the lines of the football field, there's no friends. You get 365 days to love this when you win this game. And the winner of this game, Jeff, is going to come out of here 3-0, and the loser will be 2-1. Not a bad record, but not a bad way to start 3-0.
Well, and when we looked at last week, 41-0, it was a great game. Elma was overmatched from start to finish, and I think it all starts with the team speed.
They got great team speed on John Glenn, Jeff. The running backs are just tremendous inside the tackles. They get outside. They got that extra gear. Offensively, they're putting up 32 a game and only giving up 8. So that tells you offensively they can score. Defensively, they can shut you down. And they got a kicker that can really do a nice job placing the football.
Well, you got a running back that goes around $150, $155, but oh, by the way, he's a state wrestling champion, and he runs vicious.
Yes, he does. He runs angry, as we said last week. He does a really nice job. He's hard to bring down because he runs so hard. But, man, when he gets outside, he's got extra gear to take it to the touchdown.
Well, and he runs low, too.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a good, clean lick on him, and he'll break that first tackle if you're not coming at him. But, again, last week we have the one negative takeaway. They had way too many penalties, and that needs to be addressed, and I kind of suspected in the film session it was addressed.
We have talked earlier, we talked after the game last week, those unforced penalties, unforced errors, those are correctable things. So I would imagine in the film session on Sunday night, there was what I will call spirited conversations about those penalties. They're going to clean that up, and they're going to come out and play very hard tonight against Garber.
But, Coach, we won 41-0.
No.
It does not matter.
Unacceptable. We can't have that because we're going to be in a 15-14 game with 2 minutes left to go. We just can't have that.
Now you've got a Garber team that also has started off and had a great start at 2-0 as well.
They're doing really well. They've beaten Hemlock and they beat Flint Powers, who are traditionally a very good football team. Dukes are putting up 22, giving up 19. But with that being said, they know how to win the close game.
You got Coach Matthews in his second year, so kids are familiar with the program. And we saw that Jake Coquillard is back helping with the JV. And what a great way to set the table for Coach Matthews.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. He knows how to win and lose in this league, Jeff. And he's won a lot in this league. So he knows the details. He knows the team. So, it's really nice to look over or hear up in the press box with him on the headset with all that experience. So that's a nice addition to the staff.
Plus, all week long in practice, you don't have to motivate your kids to put forth the extra effort.
If you can't get fired up for this game, something's
check your pulse.
Yeah, check your pulse. And, the kids get up, they're fired up. They know what's coming up. They're ready for the whole week. And, coaches know what's going on. Both communities know what's going on. It's just a tremendous rivalry, and I think we're going to see a really good football game tonight.
We are ready to rock and roll tonight as the John Glenn Bobcats and the Garber Dukes go at it. That about puts the wraps on our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show. Back with all the game action in just a moment on BCTV.
When you want to show someone you care, you go above and beyond. It's the little things that make someone feel extra special. The extra time, the extra effort, the extra attention to detail. It can have an extraordinary effect on people.
I'll never let you down.
So when you care this much about your family, from the youngest to the oldest, you send them to the place that specializes in extraordinary care, Covenant Health Care. We make families feel extra safe with a leading team of experts in the Great Lakes Bay region. We take the extra steps to deliver the most advanced technologies and training. We go the extra mile as you journey from diagnosis to recovery. We give families extra hope. Why do more people trust their families to Covenant Health Care? Because we've proven ourselves over time, across generations, and treat your family like you do, with extraordinary care. So you can continue to do so for generations to come.
Tonight, we would like to welcome you all to Ed Harvey Field to celebrate and honor the life of Coach Brad Tucker. If you could please stand for this memorial tribute, that would be greatly appreciated. My name is Jake Coquillard. I was very fortunate to have coached with Brad for 10 years here at Garber, and we built a friendship that I will cherish forever. I know that John Glenn, head coach John Horton, and many others are feeling the same way tonight. Brad, or Tuck as many called him, had a dedication and great love for all the people that were closest to him. He was a big man who had an even bigger heart and cared deeply for his wife, his family, and his truest friends. If you had a chance to share this type of a personal relationship with Brad, then you were truly blessed. Coach Tuck was also a very respected and hard-nosed coach. He had a great passion for the game of football, loved the schematics and tactical parts of breaking down offenses and defenses. He had an incredibly intelligent mind and perspective of the game, and shared and taught that knowledge with all the players he coached and all the coaches that proudly coached with him. Today, we remember Coach Tuck, not only as a proud coach of the game he truly loved, but as a builder of character, a symbol of tradition, a teacher of life skills for young men, and a beloved member of both the Garber and John Glenn football programs. Tonight, we would like to dedicate a helmet to his wife, Stacy, who has shown so much support for Brad during all of his years of coaching. The helmet has been custom painted in combination of the colors and logos of the two teams he coached and that will play here tonight. Stacy's strength over this last month has been simply incredible. We love you and stand with you, Stacy, always. Thank you everyone who came out to honor Coach Tucker tonight. He is and will continue to be deeply missed, but his spirits and memories will live on forever. Let's make him proud of both programs tonight. If you would now please remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem under the direction of Senior Drum Major Addie Cosley.
Good evening and welcome back. It's week 3. It's going to be a rock and roll fest. We're pumped up and ready to go. Jeff Toad and Mike Wisdala, glad to have you along. Here we go with our opening kickoff.
Boy, what a beautiful night for football, Jeff. Sun is out. There's not much breeze. It's about 75, 79 degrees. Big crowd, rivalry. You couldn't ask for a better football game.
Here we go with a real short kick, and they kick that on a wing. Nice alert job by the John Glenn Bobcats, as they will have excellent starting field position out about the 37 or 38-yard line. So a calculated kick there. They were trying to kick it in no man's land, hoping that they could get the return team to come up and try and bite on a block instead of securing the ball.
Look like Kukulski got on that real quick. Good decision by Isaac to start the game. Good field position for John Glenn to start this football game at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they got Measy as their quarterback, and
we saw a lot of him last week.
Yes, he and Ford, the feature running back, look, they go with trips here to the near side of the field. Trying to go to the outside right now with a new runner trying to get in there, and that's Bray. Turns the corner. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20. Staying on his feet down to the 14-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle by number 53 that time, Munch. What an absolute job that time by O'Laughlin, as he took off around the corner.
That was that number 15 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Took that around the corner, Jeff. Really a nice
job.
Forgive
me, that's Hilborn.
Garrett Hilborn.
Yeah.
No, that was Garrett Hilborn. You know, kind of a different little look they had, but some of the other backs out split out wide in that trips, and Hilborn got a nice gain.
Now Hilborn's going to try and take it up the middle, and he tries to just run over somebody for a gain of about 3. That first play was designed to go off right tackle. He didn't see anything there. He bounced it to the outside, and he actually found another gear.
Wow, he really got down there, did a nice job. You know, we didn't see too much of him running the football last week, Jeff, but he gets the rock the first 2 times.
Well, you know, and we understand why. He must have had a great week of practice to earn some snaps.
I tell you what.
It's not going to hurt when you know your backup is Ford, and he's going to be able to run like a demon as well.
Young player, too. Only a junior for the Bobcats.
Boyk in motion. Now they go right up the middle once again, as Hilborn is going to pick up about 5 on the play before he's met by 2 or 3 Dukes, led by number 12, Gavin Bray. As third down and a long 2-yard to go situation, obviously early on a 4-down situation.
Well, Matt, a little bit of change, 3 subs coming in. Hilborn still in the backfield. We see number 5, Boyk, coming off, and last week Jonathan Ford, number 7, had a tremendous football game for the Bobcats.
Well, they're running power set to the right, and what a great job, and the ball down on the ground. And looks like Hilborn might have gotten that back, but he'd be lucky if he got to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and 2. The Garber defense slanted to the strength very well and got into the backfield before he even got to the line.
Jamison Munch in on that tackle. Didn't see who popped the ball out, Jeff, but this is a 4th down and a long 3 for the Bobcats at the Garber, just inside the 10-yard line.
Well, they're going obviously strength to the wide side, looking for a sweep action of some type.
He didn't get it.
As Hilborn trying to move forward, and he is going to be short of the first down. So the Garber Duke defense comes up huge, led on the play number 52, Solinsky, amongst others, with that initial hit. And Gray also in on the hit, turned the ball over. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Garber Dukes.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a confidence booster for the Garber Dukes to start this football game. 9:48, it stopped the clock with the possession. Really, Jeff, you know, that one big play, but after that, the Bobcats kind of stalled a little bit, but take your hat off to the Duke defense in their own territory.
Well, they made a great adjustment, but John Glenn was very adamant that they were going to impose their will early on between the tackles. The Garber Dukes have answered the call very well. 1st and 10 for the Dukes, single back. Coming to the near side of the field and hit in the backfield, probably not even getting back.
Nessick was the ball carrier.
The ball carrier is Nessick. And that young kid really stormed onto the scene last year as a freshman, and you're going to see a lot of him tonight.
Well, yeah, he's only a sophomore, so we're going to see a lot of him for the next this year and the next two after that. No gain on the play for the Dukes. 2nd down and 10, just underway here at Ed Harvey Field on the campus of Essexville Garber.
Well, and when you got a guy like Nizik, then you're going to have a guy like Coach Coquiller goes, he's a sophomore. He should be on my squad.
Yeah, right.
Nizik again trying to take that ball between the tackles. He gets popped right near the line of scrimmage. Solano with a huge hit, and that ball comes out long after the whistle, but they're going to call it a modest gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go, so both defenses trying to make an early statement.
Nice job by the Bobcat defense, Jeff. We called Solano's name a lot last week in that big win over the Elma Panthers, but 3rd down and 7. Big opportunity right here for the Dukes.
Well, Solano is a free roaming linebacker, and now we're going to have a free 5 as they went hard count. And the defense from John Glenn jumped, and boy, you certainly like the look of your playbook at 3rd and 2 better than 3rd and 7.
Absolutely you do. So they'll march off 5 yards, and another great opportunity for the Garber Dukes here early in the first quarter.
Offsides, John Glenn Bobcats.
Against John Glenn.
3rd down and a short 2 now.
3rd down and 2.
Huge. 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 2 is absolutely huge in this situation, Jeff.
Well, and what did we talk about in our pregame show? Unforced errors in the game, and there's a big 5. We'll see if the Bobcats could stop them or the Dukes can move the sticks. As they bank forward very, very close to that 1st down marker, I think they're going to give it to them.
I think they're going to give it to them about the length of a football. They're going to move the sticks.
Nicholas Mayer in on the stop for John Glenn.
They haven't officially. Yep, now they finally get the signal. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Garber Dukes. So Nizik really having to work hard for his yardage. He got 5 yards on 3 carries. He earned it the hard way, but enough to move the sticks.
That last 2 was a tough one, but you know what? Give it to your horse and let him do the work. Good job by the offensive line of Garber.
Well, after this play, I got a little quick Nizik story to tell you. Oh, yes. All good stuff here.
You've been doing your homework.
Yes. He made it easy to do the homework. It's a ball carried by Nizik again. He is plowed into at the line of scrimmage, and the whistle blows as, amongst others, in on the tackle is going to be Nicholas Mayer. But putting up fencing last year for the 4th of July festival, and this young, very buff gentleman shows up to assist us for the day and found out that's exactly who it was. And I was glad to have somebody being able to run up and down that hill at Vets as much as he did to bring stuff back and forth.
Better him than you, my friend.
Absolutely. Great young man, though.
Good.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. Fake to Nizik, rolling to the wide side of the field. Great flat pass out to Guizdala.
Wow.
One of your kinfolk out there, brother.
Madden Guizdala, the number 6 or senior wide receiver. I just happened to be watching him, Jeff. He ran a great route, and the quarterback, Pat, put it right there. And again, hands out, caught it away from his body. Another 1st down for the Dukes.
And just enough success that the defense had to honor the run. As soon as he faked that run, he rolled to the wide side of the field, virtually had the whole field wide open in front, and he threw a dime.
Nice to have Nizik being able to run, and then Gwiz catching the ball in the flat like that. So good blocking by the offensive line. 1st and 10 for the Dukes.
Picking up 2 first downs on their first drive from their own 33-yard line. Guizdala in motion as they try and go out to the outside with a gain of about 6. Nizik with a great run. Starting to see a little flow to the offense early on here from the Garber Dukes.
I think Uncle Mo is on Garber Duke's side right now, Jeff, with a big run by Nizik. He gained 6 on the play. Brought down by number 11, Blair.
Well, and I was talking with one of the prognosticators before the game tonight.
And who would that be?
And no names, but he had stated that if the Garber Dukes can run some long drives and keep this John Glenn offense off the field. They've got a great chance in this game. So,
well, I would trust that.
I love the wisdom.
I would trust that prognostication.
As they swing to the outside, and about 6 or 7 Bobcats trying to bring down the ball carrier, but not until there's a monster gain on the play.
Stopped by 2, Maxwell Johnson.
As the Garber Dukes are just moving it methodically down as they approach midfield. And I think the John Glenn Bobcat defense, who actually, if you look, gave up 42 yards in the first 3 plays of last week's game, including the penalty, but then really stiffened up after that.
That was it. Johnson in on the tackle for the Bobcats, Jeff, but you're correct. Elma had a big first 3 plays of the game, but after that they were stifled by that tough Bobcat defense.
Guzdala in motion to the wide side. Pett back to pass. That flat pass is open, and they go back between the seams, and Pett really wishes he would have got a chance to set his feet because he missed a wide-open opportunity for about a 13-yard gain.
Boy, Gavin Bray was wide open. He just sat right down in that opening, Jeff. Guzdala took most of the DBs to the sideline, and Bray was wide open. But you're right, Pett wants that back, and he had some acreage to run after he caught the football, too.
Well, again, you put that back in your memory banks because that is there. And, again, you get the defensive backs and the safeties just with that split-second peek in the backfield, wondering if Nizek is going to have his hands on the ball, and it allows little seams. Pett with a handoff to the new running back, cutting around the corner to the outside for a gain of about 9 or 10 yards on the play is number 7, Canale, and he has a great run on the play, and he is up, I'm going to say, very, very close to the first down marker. I think they're going to give it to him.
I think they are going to give it to him.
First down.
Yeah, nice job by Canale running that football. So you got Nizek and Canale, and you got Guzdala catching the football, and the offensive line doing a wonderful job in this drive, Jeff.
Well, and again, the benefit of running between the tackles allows somebody with speed like Canale to bounce that to the outside, and the John Glenn defense gave up contain on that last run. 1st and 10. Nizek on the outside again breaks the initial tackle, but look at the pursuit to the football. The initial hit by Valad. He had plenty of help on the play.
Yeah, Solano stuck his nose in there also with a gain of 2 in a briskly played first quarter, 3:55 and counting to go. No score here from the Ed Harvey Field here on Garber High School. But, boy, what a really nice job by the Garber offense with this long drive so far, Jeff.
You know, when I look at the John Glenn defense, I really think the key player is Solano because they line him up in a position where he just flows to the football. He shouldn't have a lot of blue jerseys on him as that ball gets knocked loose by a little miscommunication in the backfield. Pett does a very wise job of just jumping on it, but 3rd down and 14 yards to go now.
A tough break for the Dukes.
That is a tough one to swallow. The way that Pett passes the football, though, is certainly a doable 3rd down.
Well, and that happens in that RPO type of offense right there, Jeff. You just, sometimes it gets caught up. And that happens, but 3rd down and 14 with the football, the Garber Dukes at the John Glenn 46-yard line.
Again, under 2:50 and counting left in a scoreless first quarter.
Where'd that go?
As it has just pretty much been a fun ground chuck first quarter of football. Pressure coming up the middle is picked up. Pett's pass on the outside is just a little wide, intended for number 14, Tyson.
4th down.
Tough break for Garber on that fumble, Jeff. Put him back to now it's 4th and 14. They're going to have to punt the ball back as Canale. He will kick the football to number 8 for the Bobcats. That's Lucas Geis, who had a very nice game against the Alabama Panthers 1 week ago.
Even if that ball is caught, that's probably going to be 6-8 yards short of the first down unless he makes a spectacular play and breaks a tackle. There's a nice kick. It gets up in the wind and takes a great bounce for the Bobcats. Back up over the 20 to the 21-yard line on that return as Geis does a great job, but he's brought down defensively amongst others by Pett.
Pet doing a nice job on that special teams,
down
Jeff.
for Johnson.
You know, that ball was kind of looked like a Wilbur Wood
21.
knuckleball when it was kicked, and it was tough to handle. But you're right, Bob Geist got a really nice bounce right to him. So 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at their own 2-1.
I'm looking at Old Glory over there, and the ball looked like it sailed, but really I don't see a lot of wind to predicate that.
No.
So he may have just misjudged that, you know, and it's a clear sky up there, so hard to tell, but a great fortuitous bounce gives him the ball back. Here's Ford on the outside trying to turn around the corner. Can't get by the first tackler in the open field with a fabulous tackle.
It looked like number 2, Nizek.
Yes. Yep. I just was looking for him to turn around, but he made a sure open field tackle. He doesn't make that tackle. Ford's got some real estate.
He's got some room down that far sideline, but again, number 2, Nizek, he can carry it, and he can also do it from that linebacker position.
Well, Garber's going to have to burn a timeout to keep from having too many men on the field, and that's a penalty they don't want to have to get, but they didn't want to give up 5 yards of real estate. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doe and Mike Wisdala along with you. Glad to have you here. Nick Page producing, directing, and filming tonight. It's our trifecta of fun on a Friday night. 2nd down and 11 yards to go. Quick seam pass on the outside is perfectly thrown to number 8. Guys absolutely had that ball drop into his basket. Is sitting back there. Weiler totally frustrated on defense because he had textbook defense. That pass could not have been thrown more perfectly.
You couldn't put it anyplace else but where he put it, Jeff. It was great defense from Weiler back there. What a throw, what a catch, what a big game for the Bobcats.
Another quick run to Boyka, or quick pass to Boyka on the outside. We saw that one last week go for 76 yards. When you look at this play, though, Measy anticipated throwing this to Boyk moving forward. Boyk was going laterally. Had he got that ball moving forward, he had real estate again.
They didn't miss that at all last week against the Alma Panthers. 2nd and 10 for the Bobcats.
Boy, going a little hurry up now with Boyk now on the jet sweep on the outside. And he gets to the outside, and watch out now. He turns the corner. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10. They actually got an angle and knocked him out of bounds prior to the end zone. What a great defensive touchdown-saving tackle that time. And it looked like Nizek out there making that play.
No, that was number 7. Cantley was out there, Jeff, kicking him out of bounds. But, again, we saw that last week when they run it in between the tackles. They're tough, but once they get outside, they got the burners on, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the Garber 13-yard line. Kind of game of big plays right now for both squads.
Neely back to pass, and he throws that one up for grabs. Pass is incomplete again. Superb defense that time, played by Canale.
Well, what a great effort by the Bobcats number 10, Blake Francis. They have good defense, too, by Canale. They were both going after the football. 2nd down and 10 for the Bobcats. We got 1:35 to go here in the first quarter.
Boy, after a little ground chuck, now you're starting to see the air show going here. Back over the middle, the ball picked off. Trying to run upfield. And he loses the football and gets it back at the 48-yard line. That is a munch. Just absolutely reading the quarterback's eyes and stepping right into the passing lane and making a huge play.
Man, what a great interception by Munch right there, Jeff. He just kept his eye on the quarterback. And number 8 for the Bobcats, I think it was Geist, was doing a little skinny post. But Munch just stood right there in the passing lane, got his big paws up, and made the interception. got some speed to him.
And I think if Measy's going to look back in the film, man, I think he kind of targeted his receiver, and the defense flowed to his eyeballs and made a huge play.
Just the way they're coached. So good job by the Garber Dukes inside Bobcat territory at the Glen 48-yard line, buck 23. And you're right, we went from ground chuck to air Coryell all within a few minutes of this game.
2 blinks of an eye. First and 10 for the Garber Dukes. Single back. Twins to the wide side, single to the near side. And that ball's down in the ground, and it looks like the John Glenn Bobcats are going to get the ball back. Again, an RPO, and a little confusion between Pett and Canale.
Looks like number 1, Michael Lawrence for the Bobcats. Picked it up out of midair, came down with it, Jeff. And they're going to have 1st and 10 for the Bobcats inside the Garber territory. But wow, interception by Garber. Turnover by the Dukes, fumbled recovery by John Glenn at their own 48-yard line. Crazy.
Yes, has just been a wild and wacky first quarter with a buck 18 left. And again, 2 yards from midfield is not a bad place to start, but the Bobcats have been down there sniffing twice and come up empty so far. Single back again with Twins to the near side and Twins to the wide side. Boyd going to the outside, and they try and run that ball up the middle with a nice gain for Ford of about 3 yards on the play as he gets into Duke territory at the 49-yard line.
Big fella, number 51, Nick Pruder, the defensive lineman, the senior on the tackle for the Garber Dukes here late in the first quarter with no score. Nice tackle by that young man.
If this is a running play, in all probability, this will be the last play of the first quarter. And Hilborn again breaks another couple of tackles. He's downfield, still on his feet inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line. We got a little flag at the end of that play.
I think you're going to see a horse collar right here, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think what we're going to have is referee Andy Wolf's going to come and talk to him. Clear that he did grab him on the back of the collar, but if that's a sideways or a forward motion, that's what they're talking about right now. Is this something that we're going to call or we're going to waive?
You had good things to say about this crew also tonight, Jeff.
We have a personal foul, horse collar against the Garber Dukes. That will be half the distance to the goal. It'll go down to the 9-yard line if my abacus is correct. And it'll be 1st and goal for the John Glenn Bobcats.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Garrett Hilborn, the junior, what another great weapons for that Bobcat backfield, Jeff. So it's going to be 1st down and goal to go for the Bobcats, as you said, at the Garber 9-yard line.
3rd time down here in the red zone. Trying to go to the near side of the field. Just out of bounds his guys as that ball was thrown in a position where he was going to be the only one that had an opportunity. But you're going to go back to Hilborn. He's probably got 65 yards on 2 carries.
Yeah, he's had a really nice game so far for the Bobcats. Guys done a nice job. Just couldn't get the Tootsies down in time. 2nd down and goal for the Bobcats at the Garber 9.
Well, Measy might have had that ball sailed just a little bit. And what do we got going here? I think we got officials timeout. Might be a mouth guard situation. I don't know. I couldn't tell what he was signaling.
Not sure what's going on. The near referee on the near sideline is the one that stopped the play.
Yep, the line judge.
Talking. Yeah, it could have been a mouthpiece. Not sure.
Well, looks like we got it fixed. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line, and still 34.4 seconds. First 11 minutes went faster than the last one.
You're absolutely correct.
Hilborn is still that single back. He's going to take it around the outside, cuts to the inside. Got a great block off the edge to be able to cut it up inside down to the 4-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line as Munch finally flowed to the football to make the tackle.
And that young man's a football player, Jamison Munch, another junior on this Garber football team. really a good-looking linebacker for Garber.
Here he goes up the middle again into the end zone. It's a John Glenn
Touchdown,
Bobcat
Touchdown!
4-yard run for the score.
Hilborn doing a great job on that. And I would say he's probably got 70 yards of real estate here in the first quarter.
Boy, he runs hard too, Jeff. He's got some speed. He runs great between the tackles, and they will try to kick the extra point. Meese will be the holder for number 28 for the, is that 28 if I'm not mistaken? Do not have a number for that young man that I can see.
We'll have to verify that number as he won't turn for us to see. The kick is up. It's plenty long, and it's good. We've got time out on the field with but 6.8 ticks left in the first quarter. John Glenn draws first blood on top 7-0. Back in a moment on BCTV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back here on BCTV, 8 rushes unofficially, 94 yards.
Ooh, that's not a bad average.
I'll tell you, it isn't bad having the golden tablet. Lee Thompson sitting next to us, feeding us all this info, trying to make us sound smart. He said it's full-time work, but he's willing to do it.
We love having them in.
Here comes another high short kick, and that'll be gobbled up by the Garber Dukes. They'll get up to the 41-yard line. So both teams trying a little trickery on the kicking game, try and find that seam. And Garber once again will start with great field position here with 2.7 ticks left in the first.
Man.
They're going to run one more play.
Nice job by the Bobcats, Jeff. Big, long run and put it in the end zone. They'll probably end the first quarter up 7-0. But, you know, a nice drive, had that big play. And what a nice surprise coming into the game for the Bobcats. Garrett Hilborn running the football for John Glenn.
Well, being injured last week, and they say he's not 100% yet. But if he's
hard
running
to tell.
like that at less than 100%, it's scary. Going right up the middle for a gain of about 8 yards on the play. As that is Knizak. And Knizak is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter as the ball will rest at the 48-yard line for an 8-yard gain at the end of one. It's John Glenn 7, Garber nothing. Back in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
All right, back looking at our 2025 Bay County Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Dave Schwartz. Hard to believe he's been AD out here for 27 years.
Wow, Jeff, that's really incredible. He does a great job, puts together a great program every Friday night here for the football and all the other sports here at Essexville Garber.
As Anizek comes forward, and he is met short of the first down marker. They'll bring up a third down. You know, 11 years as the head coach. I go so far back with him when he played for and then coached the Bay City Brahmas in the semi-pro world back when I was doing games on TV for them. So he and I have a storied past, and what a great quality individual. And, again, we couldn't be happier with the accommodations that he gets for us here when we come out to the Duke facility.
It is really put this nice press box up a few years back. And,
I think somebody else sitting next to me may have had a small hand in that.
Dave and I worked on that along with a few other folks when I did about 5+ years out here working for Essexville Hampton Public Schools.
This turned out to be a great facility indeed. Third down and 2 yards to go. Pat on the quarterback keeper. He's up sniffing that first down marker, and he's going to have it down to the 49-yard line of the John Glenn Bobcats. Good surge by the right side of the offensive line, led by Solinsky. as they got just enough of a crease for Pett to get that first down.
Yeah, they're running the ball very well tonight, Jeff. That offensive line for Garber is doing a very nice job inside Bobcat territory, just underway here in the second quarter. Great football game so far with the Bobcats up 7-zip.
Well, both teams have had opportunities and moved the ball, but the Bobcats finally get on the board first in their third try in the red zone. Trying to pull forward for a modest gain of a couple of yards on the play.
Those running backs from Garber are old-style quarterbacks. You see them put their hand down, put their hand on the back of the offensive lineman. That's old school over here at Garber.
That is, and you just play off the angle of the seal on the block, and so you can feel it, and when you feel that hip rotate left or right, you're going the opposite direction.
If he goes in, you go out. If he goes out, you go in.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Second down and 7 yards to go. Pett gets the snap. He's back to pass. Double pump on the outside and a completed pass for a gain of about 6 yards down to the 41-yard line. Pett sat back there, and he had all day. He had no pressure in his face at all.
Kukulski in on the tackle for the Bobcats. Looked like number 7 for Garber. Canley was out there for the reception. Third down and 2 for Garber. Would you say this might be 4-down territory for the Dukes? I got one right.
Well, and I think they're going to have to look to score in this game, because I think that you're silly if you think you can hold John Glenn's offense down all game long. So I think they're going to need to score points. So we'll see if their thought of fourth down is predicated on third. Nope, didn't break the plane. And Pett ends up having that ball falling down, but look at him.
I'll tell you what a great effort.
Yep, a missed tackle on the play, and he just absolutely, if you look at him, even though small in size and stature, he has got a thick lower unit. He runs low to the ground, and he was just able to go through a couple of arm tackles that tried to get him high.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a great effort, Jeff, and the ability to pick that ball up and just give that second, third, and fourth effort to get a big first down for the Garber Dukes.
He looks like he's got just a little hitch in his giddy up, though, as he's going back. So they're going to have to keep an eye on that. You're going to have to control the number of rushes that he has during this game.
Not too bad when you got Nizak on the backfield. Can hand that ball off to him and Guazdella also along with Canale.
Coming to the near side of the field for a nice gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. As just moving the pile, and against Solano, that hybrid safety linebacker, it's just fun watching him sniff the football. He's always around the football.
Well, you take a good look at him down there, Jeff. He's built like a linebacker. Just look at him. He's got some big arms, big lower body, thick legs right there. That is a linebacker in waiting right there. Does a great job.
And you got to love his instincts to get to the football. Second down and a short 5. Trying to get to the outside that time is Canale.
Patrick Canale was the ball carrier.
Is Canale, they call him, excuse me. He picks up about 3 on the play. It's going to be third and a long 1 situation. Another methodical drive going right now for the Garber Dukes.
And on the tackle was number 13, Blake Bach, with a nice tackle. And again, Garber backs are running very hard. Those kids are out there hitting. There's some hats getting to each other right now.
Well, and it's nice when you're able to move the ball like this. It really allows you to do just about anything you want to do on third down, knowing that you're probably going to go for it on fourth, and your offensive line is getting some movement. Pett's going to carry the ball himself, and he bangs forward, and he's going to be very close to that first down mark, and I believe they're going to give it to him.
Half a football. Not even going to have to measure.
Well, a good crew never has to measure.
No. There was no doubt they were moving those sticks right away, Jeff. First and 10 for the Dukes at the John Glenn 26. Again, methodical drive, like you keep saying, keeping it away from that high-power offense. Remember, Bobcats 32 points a game. We're halfway through the second quarter right now, and they're up 7-0.
And they got their hands on the ball first, so they're not going to get the second half kickoff. So That's potentially one less possession for them. So give a lot of credit to the Garber Dukes on both sides of the football here in the first half. 1st and 10 again. Pett fakes the handoff, and he gets rocked at the line of scrimmage. He's got about a 1-yard gain, but he is hit by amongst either as Mayer. Mayer came and just laid the wood on that tackle.
Again, really tough run by Pett. He'll come over to the sidelines, get the play from the offensive coordinator.
As we said, let there be light. And there was light. It's nice, too, to have the light on because without the reflection, with the window opening up the way it does, you don't get any of that reflection. So very nice to be able to see more better than we did before.
Lee can use one of our lights that we purchased.
Pett with a nice strike on the play to number 14, Tyson. Tyson just gobbled that up, but again, Pett is roaming free in his offensive backfield. The Bobcat defense is so worried about the run that they are not getting a pass rush right now on Pett.
Well, nice job by Pett delivering that football. Tyson going down and getting that first down. 1st and 10 for the Garber Dukes inside Bobcat territory at, we're going to call it the 14-yard line. Nice little methodical. Keep saying methodical, but it's very steady in how they're running their offense, Jeff.
Well, and they've had the ball for just about the entirety of this second quarter. They got it with just 2.7 seconds left in the first quarter, and they're still rolling with it. Trying to get to the outside, and a nice little seal block allows, boy, Knezek just going around the corner. And again, the wide receivers are just sealing the DBs off enough to allow him to square his shoulders up.
That's all you got to do.
He's able to pick up 3 out of nothing.
Just keep him busy. Good pickup on first down, 2nd down and 7 for the Bobcats. We've got exactly 5 minutes to go here in the first half of this briskly played, well-played football game so far, Jeff.
Yeah, and I believe Vlad was the one that finally got to the corner. But, again, credit great offensive line blocking and wide receiving blocking to make 3 yards out of nothing on that first down play. Pett again back with a single back. Again, Pett has to play catch with himself. He patty cakes that right back into his hands.
It's been a couple times.
And he gets maybe a yard gain on the play, but boy, if he doesn't have quick hands, that thing's sailing back 10 or 12 yards, and it's a scramble.
It's happened a few times on this possession for the Garber Dukes, but you're right. Good hands. 3rd down and 6 for Garber.
3rd down and 6.
At about the 10.5 yard line of the Bobcats.
Boy, 4:28 and counting left. And again, they've had the ball this entire quarter. So that prognosticator that we talked to before the ball game, spot on as he normally is.
He should be. I'm not surprised by that one bit.
3rd down and 7. Pett with a single back. And again, going with the hard count and getting a free 5 again.
Happened before, too.
Yep. So the John Glenn defense has been much better disciplined, but you give up 2 huge 5-yard pieces of real estate, and both of them were on a 3rd and 7 turning into a 3rd and 2.
Yes.
So, okay, do we see a pattern here for John Glenn? If you're going to be in 3rd and 7, look for the hard count, guys. You got to learn from what happens during the game and the tendencies.
Yep. And that was probably talked quite about during the week of practice prior to this game by Coach Matthews and his coaching staff and the kids. So it's 3rd down and 1 for the Dukes.
Boy, and they're just going with a quarterback sneak, and Pett pounds it forward, and he's going to have the first down to about the 3-yard line.
Boy, what a nice run right there. So now we're going to have a little flag on the play.
Rugby game just emerged here. And good job. Look who comes out there, your defensive captain, Solano, and says, get this person back out of here. We can't have this. Now it's going to be interesting to see who started it. Is it going to be offsetting?
Yeah,
If it's against Garber, it's going to go back 15. If it's against John Glenn, it's going to be a 1-yard penalty.
We'll see. Referees are talking it over, Jeff.
Well, and you see who's moving backwards. So now we'll see what Andy Wolf's got to say. We have a dead ball, personal foul against the defense. I think are we going to potentially have offsetting?
No.
And
Indication is a personal
they're going to
foul
replay
against
first
John
down.
Glenn at the conclusion of the play. The result of the play,
So now we've got a first down and goal just outside the 1-yard line.
Glenn, a 2-yard
The
line.
Garber Dukes trying to get the equalizer here as they've had the ball for 8 minutes and 10 seconds of the second quarter and 2.7 in the first quarter. This is an impressive drive.
This has been really impressive by the Garber Dukes, Jeff. And they got it loaded up.
Again, Pett trying to go forward and look at his offensive lineman. That's a penalty that's coming back.
Yep.
You aided and assisted the runner by grabbing onto him, and that was clear, that was plain, that was obvious, that was in front of the whole world. Easy call.
Yeah, that Mr. Wolf, Andrew Wolf, the white hat, had no hesitation when he threw that penalty, Jeff.
Well, you can assist the pile. You can't assist the runner.
Right.
And it
tough
was
break.
very, very obvious that it's going to take a touchdown away because Pett had a great individual effort because he was bouncing away from the initial hit.
Well, in the heat of the moment and stuff like that, you're just trying to get your player into the end zone. But again, as you say, that's a good call. 5-yard penalty takes him back to the 6-yard line.
You know what? They go, doesn't matter. We still got possession of the ball.
Absolutely.
We're going to chew a little bit more clock up, and we're going to keep that Bobcat offense off the field.
Penalty against the Dukes.
Does not matter if it's the 1.
From the 6.
Live ball. It's a live ball foul, so they will replay first down.
First and goal to go for the 6, Jeff. 3 and 25 to go here in the first half.
As now, because it was a scoring play penalty, the clock will not start until the snap of the ball and not on the ready for play. First and goal from the 6-yard line. There is Solano amongst others. They've got to understand the situation of hard count, and they're trying to anticipate snap count. And 3 yards of real estate down here is huge.
There's only 3 yards between the goal line and the third down line or third 3-yard line, Jeff. But that's just precious territory down there for both squads.
Boy, you like your chances on first and goal from the 3 a whole lot better than first and goal from the 6. Solano was chomping at the bit, though, to find a seam and get into the backfield. And I give a ton of credit to the discipline and the coaching to realize there's times where that hard count is going to be effective against an overreactive defense. Pett banks forward, and he might pick up a yard, and now he's trying to push that ball back. They're going to blow it dead. I would guarantee you in the film study they're not going to advise Pett ever do that again because that could have very, very easily been Maxwell Johnson going 97 the other way for 6.
Second down and goal. They gained 1 yard line there, Jeff, and those people down in the south end zone brought their lawn chairs out, got the best seat in the house right now waiting for that touchdown from the Garber Dukes.
Well, you look around right now, and this is a jam-packed house, wall-to-wall full of people here anticipating a great game and have not been disappointed.
Well, I was very fortunate to play a game here my senior year against the Dukes, and it was SRO, and it was sure a lot of fun.
Second down and goal from just inside the 3. Handoff going right up the middle, probably picking up 1 yard, and they're still going to let this thing go. Not getting into the end zone is Nizek.
Number 16 for the Bobcats, Ethan Boyk was in there, Jeff, along with a whole bunch of Bobcats. Did not get in, and it is third down and goal to goal. They say it's from the 2 yard line, but I'm going to say it's from 1 and a hook if you want to.
Yep, it's inside the 2, officially at the 1. But again, we're inside 2 minutes, so this drive has lasted over 10 minutes already. And you
Oh,
just
wow.
got to tip your cap to
Really?
the Dukes because they have done a fabulous drive. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Pett again, he's trying to roll forward, and he is not going to get that touchdown as it's going to stop him, and it's going to be 4th and goal now, officially at the 1. And now the Garber Dukes look like on 4th and goal from the 1. They're going to call a timeout, talk things over. Woo, we're going to take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Founded in 1991, the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame is dedicated to celebrating and preserving the history of sports in Bay County. From individual awards to entire teams, we strive to induct the best of sportsmanship and outstanding achievement at the high school, collegiate, and professional levels. We also recognize our President Awards winner yearly, which honors an individual who gives their time to benefit the local sports community here in Bay County. As of 2025, the Hall of Fame has inducted 263 individuals, 70 teams, and has awarded $149,000 in scholarships to local student athletes. Join us in November for our annual induction banquet honoring our latest class of Hall of Fame inductees. Visit our website at BayCountySportsHOF.com for banquet tickets, lifetime membership, or donation, and like us on Facebook to keep up to date on all things Bay County Sports Hall of Fame.
All right, back here on BCTV. Mike, thank a few of our great sponsors.
All right, Jeff, helping us out this year is Covenant Healthcare, the Bay City All Saints Booster Club, Frank's Great Outdoors, our newest member, newest sponsorship, Bay County Sports Hall of Fame, Village in Action Towing, and the official apparel provider of Bay County TV, Sandlot Sports. Wow.
You and I with our first opportunity to wear these short sleeve shirts this week.
Yes.
We've had the windbreaker on the last 2 weeks.
It's a little chilly the first 2 weeks.
Here we go with a real key point in the ballgame, the Village towing key play of the first half here. On the quarterback keeper, into the end zone is Pett. It's the Garber Duke touchdown! Wow. What a drive.
10 minutes?
10 and a half minutes, and it results in 6.
Well, that's what we talked about earlier. You know, don't get that ball, let the ball out of the hands of that potent John Glenn offense, and that's what the Garber Dukes just did, taking the ball down and taking 10 minutes and more off the clock.
Attempt at the extra point, which will tie this thing up. Andy Wolf says, hang on here. I don't know if he gave the ready for play or not. He's like, hold on here. Like, let me blow my whistle here. Now we're going to have the ready for play.
He hasn't had to blow it a lot tonight either.
He hasn't. Exchange is low. Trying to get rid of the ball. The extra point attempt is no good. Time out of the field with $1:28 left in the first. It's John Glenn 7, Garber 6. Back in a moment for the final $1:28 of the first half on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spirit wear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spirit wear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride. Customize your fundraising to reach your team goals. Get started online at sandlotsports301.com or at any one of our 3 convenient Great Lakes Bay locations. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your team, our passion.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala. Glad to have you along. It's a whale of a first half. And with $1:28 left, let's see if the John Glenn Bobcats can make any noise here as that ball is kicked off, and it will be taken by one of the upbacks, trying to roll to the wide side of the field with a very impressive return over midfield. It's Blake Francis bringing that ball down into Duke territory with $1:20 left in our first half of play.
Aiden Zwetzig with a huge tackle for the Garber Dukes. Jeff, number 44, did a nice job coming from behind and grabbing Francis. He had some real estate in front of him.
He was ready to say, lighten up, Francis, as he was heading down the field. That's our 70s movie flashback here on BCTV. 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Measy says, I can't even remember the last time I was out here on offense. He throws a quick ball to the outside. It is complete, and they're going to say inbounds. I think they intended for that to be a 6-yard gain and get it out of bounds, but it's 5 yards and inbounds for Boyk, but caught the ball, and clock now moving. We're just under 1 minute left in our first half.
With 2 timeouts, I think the Bobcats have left also.
Easy back to pass once again. He pumps that thing, and it's going deep, and that is another strike to guys down the sideline.
Man.
And they're saying out of bounds. How about Measy twice to guys in this game just dropped dimes over his shoulder.
Same pass play as we saw here in front of us, Jeff. That was impressive. But the official was right there, said Geis was out of bounds, so it's going to bring it back. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Bobcats at the Duke 46.
Oh, my.
Wow. That was huge out of bounds.
That was very close to a 40-yard reception had he been able to get his tootsie in bounds. Measy back. He's running for his life. He's going to launch that thing deep again. Got another receiver down there. It's Boyd. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. Wow. Woo. Measy said, you know what? My arm is well rested up. I've been sitting on the sideline forever. Give me a chance to hurl the pigskin.
46-yard reception, Jeff, from Weezy to Boyd in the end zone. What a big play here at the end of the second quarter for the Bobcats, putting them up 13-6.
How about Boyd going up and just getting it as the extra point is, nope, they're calling a timeout. I thought they were going to go for the extra, and they called the timeout quick.
They have 1 remaining.
Well, Weezy, number 19 for the Bobcats, was running on that sprint out pass. He had to get away from the rush, but he just put it on the dime.
So we just found out that Van Wagner is the kicker, and Van Wagner is not on our roster, but we thank Lee Thompson for coming up with all the pertinent info we need. As with
what a turn of events.
40.3 ticks left. Again, it takes an excellent kick return to get the ball over midfield to put yourself in a position where you're in striking distance from first down.
Well, Zwetzig had a really nice path to get him, but again, number 19, Measy for the Bobcats, he knows how to get out of the pocket, and he hit Boyd right where he wanted to in a big 46-yard touchdown completion.
And Boyk actually just went up and got the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense was not in a terrible position, but Boyk just made a play on it, and the defense kept flowing by. He walked into the end zone. So now the attempt for 2 going to the outside and just running over somebody is Hilborn. The two-point conversion is good. Time out of the field with 40.3 ticks left in the first. 15-6, and those points are big because it's now a 2-possession lead in this game. Back in a moment on BCTV.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Back here on BCTV, wow factor in this first half as the Bobcats are ready to kick off, and they're going to kick that ball into no man's land down there to try and keep from a huge return. And a great open field tackle about the 35-yard line.
Return, tackled by Camden Garcia.
Looked like Weiler on the return.
Yeah, Camden Garcia did a nice job on that tackle right there, Jeff. When he first caught the ball, the way things were going, I thought he had some real estate to take it a little bit farther, but 35.8 to go here in the second quarter with the Bobcats up 15-6. What a crazy set of circumstances here in the last minute of the second quarter.
Part of our fun-filled fall of
Oh,
football
boy.
on Fridays here on
Tell you what,
BCTV.
we've had 2 pretty good games so far, and I'll tell you what, number 3's not disappointing us either.
Number 3 has lived up to the billing and a little bit more. Let's see if Pet Drip starts flinging it in the air. Great open field tackle that time, as that looks defensively like it was Kukulski. And if Kukulski doesn't make that tackle, that's a huge gain for Nizek. So Garber calls a timeout. They're second with 27.1 ticks left. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
You step up to life's challenges. Covenant Healthcare helps you stay one step ahead. As the most preferred health system for orthopedics, we're leading the way with next-generation treatments like robotic-assisted joint replacements, advanced expertise for complex trauma injuries, and a personalized approach to sports medicine. With the largest orthopedic team, we're with you every step of the way. Choose extraordinary. Choose Covenant Healthcare.
Back here on BCTV, 28 ticks left in the first half. Second down, short 3-yard to go situation for the Garber Dukes. Time certainly a factor here left in the first half.
29 ticks left to go, Jeff. A crazy end of the second quarter with the way things are going. It's been a tremendous football game. Both teams, all sets of kids are playing hard, and the crowd's into it. This has just been an impressive showing by both squads. That 10-minute drive by the Garber Dukes there in the second quarter, I don't know if we've ever seen anything in all of our years go that long.
10.5-minute drive. Yeah, that's crazy long. Might be a record from us here at BCTV. I don't remember another one either. 6-7-minute drive normally is a big, long drive, but they just chewed up the clock and kept John Glenn offense off the field. And there's the run. And you know who made the difference in that play. Solano blitzing, got into the backfield before Nizek even had an opportunity to make anything happen. And I don't think the Garber Dukes want much to do. And look who's limping right now. Nizek coming off. He got hit from about 3 different directions. And that would be a huge loss for them.
Yeah, they're just going to let the clock run out, Jeff.
And that will take us, with 1.9 seconds left. Is somebody calling a timeout?
It looks like somebody did call a timeout.
I think what they're maybe thinking to do is just throw a Hail Mary with 1.9 tick left and see.
Timeout, John Glenn.
That's very interesting that's a John Glenn timeout, Mike.
Well, it looks like, they're probably over there talking. You just got to expect anything the way this game has been going, Jeff. You just don't know, but you just got to get back, get your defensive backs as deep as you can go. Nobody in the blue uniform gets deeper than anybody in the white uniform. Let's get this half over. Let's go into the halftime and see what happens. But it's been a very entertaining first half of football.
I'm a little perplexed, though, by that call because the Dukes had conceded the first half and they were walking off the field. I would think at this point the only thing that can happen to you pretty much is bad. And, Coach Horton says that's why you're up in the booth and I'm on the sidelines. And we'll find out now. The John Glenn team definitely is playing a prevent-type defense, but now you're giving Pett a chance to just rear back and reel that thing 50 yards in the air and see if he can find magic.
Yeah, and I think they're looking back up at the press box, thinking there may be more time on the clock. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but the Whitehead is looking over towards the near sideline too, and then he's looking at the clock. So they might be putting some more time back on the clock, Jeff. Maybe 2.0 or 3.0.
And the thing is, it isn't going to matter because if it's under 5 seconds, it's going to run out. So if you're putting 1 or 2 seconds back on the clock, to me, it's irrelevant because it isn't going to matter.
No, wait, 20?
Oh, with 20 ticks left, so.
Okay, well, that makes a difference, a little bit.
I guess what they're trying to do is get the ball back. And are they going to spend their last time out now? As the clock will run down right now, and
Patrick was the ball carrier.
I'm not going to assume till I see zeros on the clock that it's the end of the first half. And that is the end of our first half of play with the score, the John Glenn Bobcats 15 and the Garber Dukes 6. Back in a moment to recap the first half, set the stage for the second half right here on BCTV. Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs. Back at the Village and Action Towing halftime here at Garber Dukes, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala. Boy, we saw a tad bit of everything in the first half.
Yeah, we really did. We saw the Bobcats do a nice job, Jeff, getting into the end zone first. Then we saw that wonderful, beautiful 10-minute, 38-second drive by Garber to make it 7-6. They missed the extra points. And then, look what happened at the end of the second quarter right there.
Well, they have a great kick return, and I really think that made the decision a lot easier, having the short field to work with. They threw the ball deep, just missed guys on a huge down the sideline where he couldn't get his tootsie in, but then they went back to Boyk, and he made quick work of the next one.
Yeah, he made a really nice catch, Jeff, and then that put him in the end zone, and they did the 2-point conversion, puts them up 15-6. But, it was a little bit crazy down there at the end of the second quarter. But overall, I think it was a really good football game, both teams playing hard. And, there's a lot of football left, and the Garber Dukes are only down 9.
It's a hard-hitting game when Garber's number one running back and number one offensive lineman both come hobbling off the field at the end of the first half.
That didn't look like a good sign for Garber. Hopefully they can get that taken care of here at halftime, Jeff. Those are two important key factors for the Garber Dukes. But you know what? It's going to be an exciting second half between these two teams, and we're looking forward to some more great football.
Boy, if the second half is anything close to the first half, Coach, we're in for a treat.
We had great games in week 1 and week 2. I'll tell you what, week 3 is really, really good. Man, what's going to happen in week 4 when we go next week? So, stay tuned, folks. We're going to have a great football game here in the second half.
Also, I thought you were looking ahead already to the 100th anniversary of the football celebration at Central. We'll talk more about that later. That about puts the wraps on our Village in Action Towing halftime show. Back with all the second half action in just a moment here on BCTV.
High school sports are meant to be fun.
We love to represent our school.
And we care about our sports.
We know you do too.
And because we all care, it can sometimes get intense.
So let's make the experience more fun for everyone.
We know it's easy to react and shout during games.
But we all make mistakes.
The game is more enjoyable when we hear positive cheering.
Referees are human. Respect their decisions. They aren't perfect.
When you feel like yelling, remember that you represent our school.
We want to win, but just remember to keep the energy positive towards all.
During the season, we spend a lot of time with our coaches. They have a tough job.
Please accept their decisions.
And be thankful for all the time they devoted to making us better.
Thank you for coming to our games and always supporting us.
We couldn't do this without you.
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 Back here on BCTV, 15-6. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala, glad to have you along. Nick Page producing, directing, and filming. Ready for a rock and roll second half, partner.
The second half's anything like the first half. Hang on. It's going to be a wild ride.
That ball hits the turf, too, and by the time you pick it up, your return is really out of sync and your blocking is not available. There are 5 white jerseys that hit Tyson as soon as he gave about 5 yards back on the return.
Isaac Kukalski and number 9, Camden Garcia, are right there. That was, again, another well-placed kick of the football. 1st and 10 for the Garber Dukes at their own 28-yard line, Jeff, and we're looking for some excitement.
What are the chances that they have another 10.5-minute drive here?
I'll tell you what.
And we talked to one of the coaches at halftime, and he's like, we preach this all week long, just methodical, grind it. and not make mistakes. And I said, work to perfection.
They listened.
Took the whole second quarter away pretty much.
Really nice.
Trying to get to the outside, and that ball carrier is LePage?
Canale.
Okay, Canale, okay.
Canale, excuse me.
As it is looking like a 2-yard gain on the play again, but good pursuit that time. He was just a half step slow getting to the outside, and the defensive speed really got to the football in a hurry.
I'll tell you real quick, I took a walk down by the concession stand, Jeff. Unbelievable
Gold
crowd.
mine?
Gold mine tonight. Big 50-50. Did you hear that number?
Almost $1,000. We donated again.
Yeah, we weren't even. We were farther away than we've ever been.
Well, we were only about 2,000 off, not terrible. And again, to the outside, and a nice finish of the run, and there's going to be an extra 15 for the extra hit. And it looked like Solano came over late, and that's a tough break because it would have been 3rd down and 5, and they're going to get 15 yards and move the sticks. Another unforced error tonight by the Bobcat defense.
One of the things we talked about in the pregame show, Jeff, the Covenant Healthcare-sponsored pregame show, is in these type of rivalry games, you have to just keep your composure. And unfortunately for the Bobcats right there, they're going to get flagged for 15 yards for the late hit out of bounds.
And it's too bad, too, because both of the first 2 plays, they have really flowed to the outside to the football very, very well. And for their defense to have to play 3 more downs because of it, it's just a very fixable thing. But you're riding the emotion of the moment. You've got to control it.
And the Bobcat player knew right away. And so here we go. They're going to take off 15 yards, and it's going to be a big one and put the Garber Dukes at their own 49-yard line.
Boy, that's a huge chunk of real estate. 1st and 10 for the Garber Dukes. And again, with 11:01 left, that ball was out of bounds, so the clock will not start until the snap of the ball. As our referee says, ready for play whistle. As we do not have the timed clocks in the end zone like a lot of places do. They keep that down on the field. I actually like that better. You can get an extra couple seconds, and it helps the flow of the game. As trying to get to the outside, I can already tell from the first run of this second half from Nizak, he did not have the burst to get to the outside. Gimpy at the end of the first half, they probably taped him up. He's coming off the field with his helmet off, but just didn't have that burst that I saw in the first half, at least on the first play. Might take a few runs to get that thing loosened back up.
Yeah, it's got to come off for one play since his helmet came off.
But a big loss of 4 on the play will make it 2nd down and almost 14. It'll be a short 14, if there is such a thing.
All right, 13 and a hook, we'll call it.
Pat again with a single back. Twins here to the near side of the field. Now going to turn into trips. And a penalty flag down. False start on the offense. So they're going to back up to a 2nd and 19. One of the few times tonight that we've seen a penalty other than assisting the runner. I'm trying to think of another time where they got penalized in the first half.
It was a very clean game in the first half, Jeff. A couple of penalties here to start the 3rd quarter. Lights just went out, back on.
I think they're on a timer, it must be. It's like, it's a good thing that the lights went back on. I was starting to feel a little fuzzy there for a second.
I looked over at the scoreboard just to make sure that was running. Go, oh, boy, we don't need a power outage.
And, again, you look at Pett coming to the sidelines, getting the signal, taking his time, getting there. They're gobbling up as much of the 40-second clock as they can. Back judge hasn't even gone up with 10 seconds yet. Looking at his watch, he's close. He's at 10 now, so they're going to run 33 seconds off the clock. Pett back to pass with a great pass to the outside. Nice job with the reception by Mays as he picks up almost 10 yards on that play. Again, when you look at the amount of time that Pett has to throw the football, the Bobcat defense is so worried about the run, they're not getting pressure on the quarterback.
Well, and again, Pett gets into that comfort zone. He kind of rolls out there, Jeff. Throws a really nice, catchable football, as you like to say. And Mays did a nice job getting some yardage back. We're going to call it 3rd down and a long 9 for the Dukes right at the 50-yard line.
50 yards of real estate to hit pay dirt. 8:50 in counting left in the 3rd. Empty backfield right now. Pett back. He gets some late pressure on the play. That pass is in between 2 defenders. Knezek just really does a great job. I think the defender from John Glenn is shocked he didn't pick that one off.
I'll tell you, that was thrown in. Wow, that was a tight window by Pett to throw that football. Great concentration by Knezek to catch that football. 1st and 10 for the Dukes at the Bobcat 30. Wow.
How about the offensive line?
Giving
him time. Nobody in his face. Clean pocket. Stepping into the throw and throws a strike. I mean, it's textbook.
He's got some nice pepper on the ball, too. He zips it.
Well, yeah, Coach Debo likes him on the baseball team as well. As coming forward, just tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Pett gets tackled by number 16. It looks like Boyk just got him around the shoestring, and he fell forward for a gain of a couple on the play.
Well, and again, here's what we said in the first half. Long, methodical drives, keeping the football out of the offensive hands of the Bobcats, Jeff. And sounds like the Dukes worked on this all week, and they have done a very good job at keeping the football and running time off the clock.
Well, again, they're tickling 4.5 minutes here, and the drive has gotten the ball down inside the 30-yard line. Pett with a single back. He rolls to the wide side of the field, and again, throwing another strike for a 13 or 14-yard gain. The defensive end on the left-hand side totally drawn in by the play fake. And Pett just rolls to the outside with absolutely nobody there. John Glenn has got to make an adjustment defensively to not give up contain on the wide side of the field because it's happened over and over in this game.
They send everybody out of there, Jeff. Sent a couple long, and then the Dukes just threw it out there in the flat. Got that 1st down, so they can get another 1st down. It is 1st and 10 for the Dukes at, if I'm not mistaken, the 15-yard line.
Yep. Not a big fan of the blue numbers on the field. They kind of blend in a little bit, but trying to hand off, getting to the outside, absolutely nowhere to go. Good defensive pursuit that time. Looked like Marcus Joshua with the tackle.
Trying to still see that number. Looks like number, Marcus Joshua, 55. That was a nice tackle right there, Jeff. Good eyes by you.
That he got through and just put that big bear claw out and just got enough of the ankle to trip him up.
Anytime you can get good penetration, break the play down at the point of attack is good. Loss on the play of 3, 2nd and 13 for the Dukes.
Pett again with a single back. Motion here to the near side. Pett rolls to the outside, giving up contain again. And just simultaneous with the ball getting there was the defense. But again, you look, Pett to the outside. The contain on the defensive end was sucked in on the play. Pett could have turned the corner and probably ran for 7-8 yards.
Yeah, he had some real estate out there too, Jeff, to be able to pick up a few yards. 3rd down and 13. We're at 6:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter with the Bobcats 15 and the Essexville Garber Dukes 6.
Well, you look at this drive, it has taken up half of the 3rd quarter. Again, the John Glenn Bobcat offense just chomping at the bit on the sidelines, waiting for an opportunity to get onto the field.
You know, Measy over there has probably got to keep that arm warmed up by just throwing a few passes on the sideline during these long drives by the Dukes.
Single back again. Pett out of the shotgun. Rolling to the wide side of the field. Nice throw back across the drain into the end zone. It's Charlie Mays and a Garber Duke touchdown.
What a catch by Mays. He just laid out for that bait, and Pat put it right where it had to be.
Again, time to throw the football. Little better pressure by the defense, but they are not altering the passing motion of Pat.
And he rolled out to the wide side, Jeff, and threw it back across the field. What a great catch by Mays, and Pat put it right where it had to be.
So 15-12, an opportunity to bring this to a 2-point game. As the attempted extra point is up, it's plenty long, and it's good. Time out of the field with all fives left on the scoreboard, 15-13. It's the Dukes down by 2. Back in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on BCTV as the Garber Dukes had their hands on the ball for 6:05 of the third quarter, and it ends up with 7 in the end zone.
Again, nice drive by the Garber Dukes. That thing looks like a pass, that kickoff.
It's a line drive kick. Dukes coming upfield, and they're going to get up well over the 40, out to the 47-yard line before they're brought down. So Bobcats, Kowalski with a great return on that.
That was really a beautiful return by Kukalski.
Kukalski did a great job again, and he kind of just sat back there patiently waiting for his blockers ahead of him to give him a little seam. And you put yourself in this position offensively, and you got to love that starting field position.
Here comes the Bobcats. We have not seen the offense for the Bobcats this quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So they'll have the first opportunity to get the football with 5:44 to go here in the third quarter.
There's the handoff right up the middle of Ford, and Ford bangs forward for 9, 10 and a half yards. He's going to pick up the first down with an 11-yard gain. Low center of gravity, driving with those legs. Got some big dogs in front of him, pushing the pile. 11-yard gain, 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats.
And, you know, Jeff, he's not the tallest drink of water, and he's really hard to see behind those offensive linemen. So, but again, as we saw him last week, he's doing the same this week. Good second, third, fourth efforts in between the tackles.
Continuous effort is unmatched by that young man. 1st and 10 once again. He's going up the middle again. He's got a little bit of a seam. He's going to fall forward for a gain of about 5 yards on the play. And you look at the Garber Duke defenders making the tackle. Nick Pruder got knocked backwards. 45. They've got 45-19 in number of plays over the John Glenn Bobcats, and still are down by 2 points, but that's an impressive stat.
Good run on first down, 2nd down and 4 for the Bobcats inside Duke territory.
You know it's just going to feed as Ford picks up enough yardage for another first down. As 11 yards of real estate in 2 more plays. And the initial hit defensively by Solinsky, but not until 4 or 5 yards downfield is that initial contact. And you see Ford falling forward at the end of his runs.
That's an extra couple yards. Again, kudos to the offensive line for the Bobcats. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats just at the 31 yard line.
You know they're well rested.
Yeah.
There's a broken tackle by Ford as he pushes forward for a gain on the play of about another 5 yards.
Ryan Bray did a nice job, and he's just hit himself on the noggin for missing that tackle, but great penetration. And, you know, he's such a good football player. He's going to have another opportunity. But, again, the Bobcats with another big run on first down.
Well, and Bray's playing at less than 100%, too, because he was the other guy that hobbled off the field at the end of the first half. So another 6-yard gain on first down. And they're going to give it to Hilborn. Hilborn's got the first down and more. He cuts to the outside. He's running to daylight. He's inside the 10, down to the 5. Penalty flag down. May have had a face mask at the end of that run.
I'll tell you what, that was a great run. Garrett Hilborn, the junior, coming in. Penalty on the play, but I think you're right, Jeff. I think we're going to get a face mask against the Garber Dukes.
And that's going to take it down to the 3-yard line if that's what happened. But look at the two horses in the backfield right now with Hilborn and with Ford. They're both fresh, they're both complementing each other, and they're both chewing up huge chunks of real estate.
That was a very tough run. He was caught inside early, and he just kicked it outside. Oh, it's going to be an offensive face mask.
Oh.
That's the second time we've seen that this year. We saw it in the All Saints Deckerville game 1, and now we've seen it here. And we said that All Saints game, we never really thought we'd ever see that before. And now we've seen it twice.
It's a 5-yard face mask, though. And so a lot of times I believe what you're going to have with that 5-yard is you're stiff-arming somebody in the face mask. So you're hitting versus grabbing and twisting. You know, it's still going to be a first down.
Outside the 10.
They're going to be at the 11-yard line. So Andy Wolf's going to come up right now. He's like, all right, we got the down box. Going to bring the chains.
It's going to be inside the 10. Looks like it's going to be at the 7.
The result of the play is a first down for John Glenn. First and goal at the 8-yard line.
8-yard line.
All right, so they said the penalty occurred at the 3. So first and goal. Clock starts. Rolling to this side of the field. Looks like they just threw that one up for grabs. Very nearly intercepted. And boy, the way you're pounding the football.
Boy, Aaron Tyson did a nice job.
He just about came up with the big INT, and that is not good to see Nizak coming off the field. Almost looks crampish the way he's coming off.
Well, that's a good night.
I would hope it's a cramp.
Yeah, me
versus
too.
Something more serious.
And it's a warm night out, Jeff, and that's hopefully it's just a cramp and nothing more serious. Yeah, it looks like it is.
All right. Well, you know, and we've said before, just a cramp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hilborn with the carry. He's inside the 5, spinning down to the 3, down to the 2, trying to sniff the goal line. Did he get in? What a continuous effort. He's into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. Wow. Hilborn would not be denied on that run. What an impressive run from scrimmage for somebody that's running at less than 100%. He didn't even play last week because he was injured.
That was a physical run by that young man right there, making the score 3:15. 21-13, Bobcats waiting for the extra point.
This extra point would make it a 2-possession game again. Everything's set, line set, waiting for the exchange. It's a good exchange. The kick is up. It's long enough, and it's good. Time on the field with 3:15 left in the third quarter. 22-13, John Glenn over the Garber Dukes. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Here is where the next generation is born. But we're also the birthplace of innovation, advanced treatments, second chances, and hope. At Covenant Healthcare, we're the most preferred health system because of the trust we have built across generations. And our leadership continues with the next generation. Choose extraordinary. Choose Covenant Healthcare.
Back here on BCTV with a chance to thank our great sponsors.
All right, Jeff, Covenant Healthcare, the Bay City All Saints Booster Club, Frank's Great Outdoors, Bay County Sports Hall of Fame, our newest sponsor, Village Action and Towing, and Sandlot Sports, the official apparel provider of Bay County TV.
Oh, what great sponsors we are blessed with again as the Bobcats address the football on the kickoff. They're going to kick this one a little bit longer and deeper. Will that go out of bounds? It does go out of bounds, so They're not going to take it where the ball went out of bounds. They're either going to have to have it re-kicked or at the 35. I opt to think they'll take it at the 35.
You stole my thunder. I was going to go through all the rules.
All right, I'm not quite certain how this
Take it at the 35.
I think that's a good move, too. And now, though, the Kniezak, with him being out, what are they going to do to supplement his runs? Because he was just walking it off, and then it nodded back up, and he dropped like a rock back on the sideline. So at least his return for right now is in question.
We'll see what Coach Matthews, who he puts in there for Kniezak. And I can't see the number quite yet. Still looking.
Cannelly is normally the backup. On the outside, pass is intended on the play for LePage, and great defense knocking that ball away, so incomplete. Getting there in a hurry is Valad defensively, knocking that ball away.
Incomplete pass stops the clock, Jeff, with 3:09. And again, both teams are playing extremely hard. Garber's done a nice job tonight, Jeff, with those long, time-consuming jobs, but John Glenn took advantage of it and put one in the end zone fairly quickly here in the third quarter.
Well, they scored quick at the end of the first half. Yeah, they scored quick here in the third quarter, so it's showing you their ability to strike quick when they need to. 2nd down and 10. Empty backfield once again. As Pett's back to throw. Now he's going to try a little quarterback run up the middle with great success and a 9-yard gain on the play.
Oh, that was a tough run.
He finished in a hurry with that thing, and again, when you're built that low to the ground and you run low and hard, you really don't provide a great target for the defense.
And then a tackle, Kukulski for the Bobcats. 3rd down and a very manageable one for the Garber Dukes. I would say this is probably going to be 4-down territory for Garber.
Well, if they don't lose any ground on 3rd down,
correct.
I would venture to say that is accurate. So we'll find out. They're saying we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to pick it up here.
We're going to get it right now.
And penalty flag down. Looks like we got movement on the offensive line. And we know when the umpire throws it, who's going to be one of the 3?
Well, he's only going to look at the center and the 2 guards.
Ooh, Coach.
Can I put that A+ test up on my refrigerator?
You are an A++ rating with that synopsis.
The Better Business Bureau.
Yes, indeed. You got A++ from the BBB.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the only A+ I've ever had in my educational career.
You know what? That's a great one. You could put that in the memory bank. But, here, Gwiz, 3rd and 6 versus 3rd and 1. What a huge difference that is in your play calling.
You hit the nail right on the head when you said you don't want to go back with anything else. But what happened?
Well, you got dual threat at your quarterback position. He's going to roll to the near side of the field. Now they get some pressure. That pressure forces an errant pass and a 4th down and 6 yards to go. One of the few times tonight the defense has got to him and forced him to make an errant throw.
Number 64, Aiden Stanger, the senior defensive lineman, got the pat, put a little pressure on him, made him throw that ball a little bit earlier than needed. So the Dukes are going to have to punt the ball away with $1:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And that 5-yard penalty sure does loom hard. Again, they've probably been penalized only 20 yards the entire game, but boy, they wish they could have that 5 back.
That was just at one of the most inopportune times.
Boy, they're not even going to go after the kick. They're just going to let that thing hit, and it takes a fortuitous bounce if you are going to be a Garber Duke, and that goes down to the 26-yard line. At that point, it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats with $1:40 left in the 3rd quarter. And again, you're bringing an offense back on the field for John Glenn that's fresh.
Second time.
They've been probably outmanned on plays, almost 3-1 in this game, but they still have the lead.
Second time they've had the ball here in the 3rd quarter. Are the Bobcats up 22-13? Jeff, you said it, $1:40. Briskly played first half and 3rd quarter here at Essexville Garber. What a beautiful night for football. Incredible evening.
And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the key drive in the ball game for both teams. If Garber stops it, they're back in a good position for the fourth quarter. But if the Bobcats put points on the board in this drive, it's going to be really tough for them to come back. Trying to cruise around the corner. Great open field tackle that time as Measy just couldn't get away from the outstretched hands of number 44, Zwatek.
Well, he's had a really nice game tonight, Jeff. And he ran a long ways to get a hold of Measy, and they gained 0 on that second down and 10. What a great hustle play by number 44.
All right, second down, just a little over 10 yards to go. Hilborn cuts to the outside. Again, he gets to the outside. He's going to turn the corner and pick up the first down and more. He just refuses to go down until he gets to midfield. And then we got just a little extracurricular at the end of the play. And just back away, gentlemen. If you remember 2 years ago at this complex, tempers really got heavy, and it carried over into the game last year. They've got to be careful to control their emotions because a 15-yard penalty one way or another is a huge turning point in this close game.
A lot of football to be played yet, Jeff, and it's 22-13, so we got the clock is stopped. They're going to talk about this, but we saw one flag go up and then another one go up, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. It could be offsetting penalties. We'll soon see.
Yep, we'll find out now. We have a personal foul defense, and that is the only one that they're going to assess. So you're going to add 15 yards to the end of that run. They're going to take the ball down to the 35-yard line and have another first down. So dead ball personal foul against the Garber Dukes. I think we're looking at a player on the field right now that has a chance to win the Golden Helmet this next week. Hilborn has just had an unbelievable game. He's got to be averaging 12, 14 yards a carry, and he just refuses to go down. And he's hit at the 42-yard line, and he picks up 8 more yards just out of sheer will and determination.
And Hilborn's only a junior, so he's got another year for the Bobcats, but that penalty takes him right down to the 35-yard line, as you said, Jeff. And that penalty happened all the way across in front of the Glen bench. So we saw the flags go up, but we didn't really get to see exactly what was going on so far away.
Well, you got Measy, you've got Ford, you've got Solano, all juniors, all making major contributions on this team. I would say the future looks bright for the Bobcats.
Anyway, it's coming off, Jeff, for the Garber. He might have had a cramp also. It is for, third week. It's pretty warm out there. It's very comfortable, but it's
very spectator comfortable at the game.
Yes.
But it was very hot and sunny and muggy earlier, so I can see that could be a factor. Your kids have got to be hydrating all day long so that this is not a factor this late in the game. We got movement on both sides of the ball. Defense moved first, but the defense did not get into the neutral zone. Are they going to rule that they also forced the left tackle to react? I think we're going to get a false start.
You are correct.
Those are all things that have to be predicated into your decision-making. If he moved, but he didn't go across the line, but his movement caused the offense to move, that has to be part of your discussion before you formulate the answer to whose penalty it is.
So that'll move it back 5 yards to the 40. 1st and 15 for John Glenn at the Duke 40-yard line with $1:22 to go, Jeff.
Well, Hilborn the single back. He's coming to the near side of the field. He's got the corner again, got a penalty flag down as he picks up about 8 yards of real estate. Normally when the white hat throws that, and he's moving his flag twice. The reason he moves his flag, he wants an accurate spot for when that holding penalty occurred, and it happened at that spot on the field, so he is going to be able to assess the penalty from that spot, which is essentially going to be the line of scrimmage, and back them up 10. So after an extremely cleanly played almost 3 quarters of football, we've seen a huge change in the last couple of minutes.
And this will take them back to the 50-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 25 for the Bobcats. They started all the way. They started at the 35 and make it back to the 50. But just a little bit different ways things are going here in the third quarter compared to that first half.
Boy,
You're right.
It's just really been a tale of two halves of football, and most of it was cleanly played until very recently. Now trying to come up the field. Great job just falling forward for a gain of about 6 yards on the play. It's Ford.
Zwetzig in on the tackle.
So Zetzig doing another nice job. We've been calling his name quite a bit lately. It's still second down and a whole bunch. It'll be second and 19. So what probably, if there's a running play, will be the last play of the third quarter.
Second down and 20.
Trying to throw a quick pass on the outside. It's completed. More than half of the yards needed, and still fighting for more as they're going to rule him down on the reception inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. Still waiting to see if that was Boyk out there. I believe it was.
Mezzi's pass is complete.
Yeah. And I think they're just going to let this clock run out, Jeff, with 7 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
It might have been to a Roach out. Yeah, I'm thinking that was a Roach out there with that, but that's the end of our third quarter of play. 22 for the John Glenn Bobcats, 13 for the Garber Dukes. Back in a moment for the final 12 right here on BCTV.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back here on BCTV, ready to rock and roll for the fourth quarter. The Bobcats have got a third down and a short 4-yard-to-go situation as we're ready to roll here in our final 12 minutes of action. Single back again is Ford. He gets the ball up front. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Look at Ford staying on his feet. They are going to say that his knee was down. And Ford saying, I want instant replay. He goes, my knee didn't hit. The line judge had a very good look at it from his perspective. His knee went down. Ford is disagreeing with that, but there's nothing he can do at this point. It's fourth down and a long 2-yard-to-go situation.
And I think it was Zetzig who had the got him down, just kind of twirled him down, and did a nice job coming from that defensive end. That young man's had a heck of a football game tonight, number 44 for the Garber Dukes.
Well, especially in the second half.
Yes.
We've called his name
Quite a bit.
Fourth down and 2. There's Ford banging forward, going to move the sticks. He's down inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. Look at the big dogs on the offensive line, 5, 6, 7 yards downfield leading the path.
That was a nice job by the offensive line at the point of attack. A nice job by Ford seeing that hole, knowing he only had to get 2 yards. So first and 10 for the Bobcats at the 24-yard line.
It looks like Stanger and Schalk are the ones that they like to run behind when they need the critical yards. Left guard, left tackle have just done a fabulous job. Motion to the wide side. They go misdirection. Again, Hilborn bangs forward, and he's going to pick up yardage and get about 7 yards on the play before the Garber defense finally able to make a tackle. Up out of the bottom of that stack, Jamison Munch, amongst others.
And Nicholas Meyer is one of the offensive line I've noticed. And also, Jeff, looking down there, I just noticed number 75. He's a big drink of water. Isaac Espinoza. Looks like he is the left guard for the Bobcats.
Yep, he's the left tackle. I said Schalk earlier, but I misread the number, and it was Espinoza. But those two big dogs on the left side are where John Glenn seems to want to go when they need critical yardage.
Yep, also number 56, Mason Wald, is another offensive lineman for the Bobcats.
So they're just staying with that group. Hilborn to the outside with a burst of speed. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat.
Touchdown!
Wow. He got to the outside. He's less than 100%. He found another gear and went untouched into the end zone.
Yeah, the blocking was really good at the point of attack. And, Hilborn gets out there. He's got that extra gear to take it outside, making the score 28-13, 9:42 to go.
Is he trying to replace that blue helmet with potentially a gold one?
Oh, well, you know what?
I bet he's close to 200 yards in rushing tonight.
Would not surprise me if that happened.
169 on 13 carries.
You're close.
That is a man-sized effort tonight.
That's a big night.
So you get your abacus out and you start going how many yards per carry? You're talking almost 15 yards a carry. And looks like John Glenn's going to need to call a timeout. We'll get the abacus out, find out the yards per carry back in a moment on BCTV.
Founded in 1991, the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame is dedicated to celebrating and preserving the history of sports in Bay County. From individual awards to entire teams, we strive to induct the best of sportsmanship and outstanding achievement at the high school, collegiate, and professional levels. We also recognize our President Awards winner yearly, which honors an individual who gives their time to benefit the local sports community here in Bay County. As of 2025, the Hall of Fame has inducted 263 individuals, 70 teams, and has awarded $149,000 in scholarships to local student athletes. Join us in November for our annual induction banquet honoring our latest class of Hall of Fame inductees. Visit our website at baycountysportshof.com for banquet tickets, lifetime membership, or donation, and like us on Facebook to keep up to date on all things Bay County Sports Hall of Fame.
Back here, ready to go. They're going to go for two now. They started looking at the chart and said, hey, if we're up 17, that's a three-score lead. Ford going over the right side this time, going, yeah, we can't just run on the left side all night long. He's into the end zone, and the conversion's good on a late penalty flag after the end of the play. Things are starting to get a little chippy out there, and I didn't see pushing and shoving, so we had a little verbiage about my McDonald's is better than your McDonald's here on Center Avenue. So this would be a big 15-yard penalty, too. But that two-point conversion, irregardless, makes it a three-score game.
Be a dead ball foul, Jeff. We'll see what Mr. Wolf has to say for the penalty.
I believe, based on the way it was looking, John Glenn is thinking it's against them. Yep. So they're going to assess that on the kickoff. They'll be kicking off from the 25-yard line. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Your heart drives us to be on the forefront of next-generation heart treatments, from minimally invasive valve replacements to advanced procedures for AFib. Choose the most preferred health system for heart. Choose Covenant Healthcare.
Back here on BCTV, Mike, we just absolutely missed one of the two opportunities that the back judge has to signal the penalty and mark it off, and we weren't paying attention. Oh.
We were having a good conversation.
Mama would have been proud. Mama would have been proud. Well, we'll just have to tell Mama about it. The technique had to have been good. There's a short kick, and that ball's going to be taken at midfield and down at the 47-yard line. So
short hop.
Very interesting decide to kick that ball short, and they're going to have less than a 50-yard field to work with trying to get back in this game. But a 10.5-minute drive isn't going to do the job here.
Silas Weiler did a nice job on that short hop, the sophomore for the Garber Dukes. Puts them in Bobcat territory at the 47-yard line of John Glenn. 9:41 to go. Bobcats 30, and the Essexville Garber Dukes 13.
Again, when they decided to go for two, I think they looked at the schematics and said, yep, 2 points will make it a three-possession game. And I don't believe the Dukes are going to have an opportunity to get their hands on the ball three times. They hope that I'm wrong, but Pet's going to have to do something quick here. And that is a great catch. I think maybe spinning Tyson to get upfield, just looked away.
Boy,
Bobcat defense starting to put a little bit more pressure on Pett, though, as he hasn't been able to just set up and rear back and throw in the second half like he did in the first half.
that was another ball thrown from the far hash mark over to the near sideline. Pett put a little zip on it. And Tyson might have heard footsteps coming from that defensive backfield of John Glenn. Incomplete pass stops the clock at 9:34, Jeff.
Well, and they threw that ball in between three defenders, so he knew that there was white jerseys around. But, you know you're going to get hit. You might as well just catch that ball, but it's pretty easy for us to say up here. Your arms get a little shorter once in a while. As trying to go to the outside back in the game, we're happy to see Nizick.
Yeah.
As he's had some serious cramping issues, which kept him out for a big part of the third quarter. Gain on the play, it'll be third down and about 6 long yards for the first down. Ball marked at the 44-yard line as the clock continues to run and is certainly becoming a factor here in the fourth quarter.
Yep, it's 4-down territory for the Garber Dukes, Jeff. We're going to be under 9 minutes. The clock is stopped. I don't know why it
should not be. Very interesting.
Was that an incomplete pass? No, that was a run
in
the last play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Here comes the pressure again. Tyson says I'll make up for the last one with a great ball. And now they're going to say, I think they're going to give it to the offense, and the ball, he's down on the ground before it was taken away. Yep, good call. Great job by Vlad to come up, but I think Tyson was down. If you're both down on the ground with dual possession, the ball goes to the offense. I think after that happened and the ball was down, the players were down, that's when he wrestled it away. I think the officials made a great call.
I thought that was a really good call, Jeff. And again, you're rolling away from it and taking it away from him. He was already down, but what a tremendous catch by Aaron Tyson for the Essexville Garber Dukes. That was a whale of a catch. And a great throw, too.
It was perfectly thrown by Pett, too, but Tyson said, I got one I got to make up for the last ball that I thought I could have caught, but a big gain on the play and a big chunk of real estate. Pett, again, does a great job as that ball's ready to sail over his head. He bats it back to himself. He patty cakes it, as I say, back into his hands and picks up a couple of yards out of nothing.
8:19 to go here in the ball game, Jeff. You're right. He does a nice job making sure that he gets it first before he makes any decision what to do with it. But it's a good gain on the play. Second down. We'll call it 7. And we have got 8 minutes exactly to go in the football game.
Well, and when that happens, you almost, if that play is not designed as a run, it is a run, and your blocking scheme and everything is thrown off as here comes the pressure on Pett. Pett does a nice job. There's nobody in the neighborhood. That could be a flag. We're going to say, he's going to say that Nizick is in the neighborhood. He pointed to him, and I'll tell you, that was generous to not have that be a 15, but
good communication by the officials right there.
Time, score, situation. If there's a question, I think they made the right call in that situation.
Right. They both looked at each other, and they made the right call. And so stops the clock, 7:47 to go, Jeff.
7:47. Reminds me
Take it off.
Earlene Brown, who used to be from the San Francisco Bay Area Bombers back in the roller derby days.
My goodness.
As Pett throws to the outside, it's complete. I don't know where it came from.
Well, you know what's sad? I remember that. Now that you mentioned it. Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah. So, we had our 70s movie flashback. Now we had our 70s roller derby flashback. We're back to football here now.
Good Lord.
4th down and 2 yards to go. Obvious situation that the Dukes are going to go for it.
4th down territory.
7-12 and counting left in the game, and this is a must 2 yards for the Garber Dukes.
Pett comes in from the sidelines, gets a play from the offensive coordinator for the Dukes.
They're down to 3 seconds here. They're going to have to call a timeout. They do not want to lose 3 yards or 5 yards of real estate. And they do. They do not get the play off, and the sideline did not see it. Delay a game.
Penalty against the Dukes.
And again, the Dukes tonight, Gwiz, have been penalized probably only 6 times. At least 4 of those have come at the most inopportune times. Not that any time is good, but they've made 3rd and 4th and short turn into 3rd and 4th and mediums, and boy, that is frustrating.
That's a tough break.
So now 4th down and 7 yards to go with 6 and 50 left in the game. I don't have any reference for 6 and 50, so you're in luck.
Well, you're talking roller derby. I used to love to watch it. And then you bring up this what's her name? Eileen Brown? Earlene Brown, and it just kind of quicked in the old gray man. Remember that?
And now you got 25 seconds to get it off, and they're not going to get this play off either. They're going to have to use a timeout, as they thought they had 40 seconds. After you have a situation like that, the play clock's at 25. You got to know where that back judge is at. So they has a very costly timeout here. We're going to take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Back here on BCTV, quickly thank our sponsors.
All right, Jeff, Covenant Healthcare, the Bay City All Saints Booster Club, Frank's Great Outdoors, Bay County Sports Hall of Fame, Village Action and Towing, and of course, last but certainly not least, Sandlot Sports.
4th down, 7 yards to go. Petting an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers. Pressure coming up the middle. In and out of the hands of the receiver, and the pass is incomplete. And the John Glenn Bobcat defense comes up with a big play. Credit the pressure defensively from the Bobcat line, though, that forced Pett to have to get rid of that ball quickly. So late in the ball game, the defense is finally starting to put pressure on quarterback Pett.
That was coming from the backside, Jeff, and quarterbacks just have that sense. They know when they're getting pressured. So ball's turned over on downs. It's 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the John Glenn 14-yard line. I'm going to say 15-yard line.
Yep.
With 6:31 to go here in the football game.
Well, if I'm a betting man, and I have been wrong way too many times in my life, I think Chuck Knox is going to be happy with what the Bobcats are going to try and do down the stretch here.
A little ground chuck is what you're thinking?
It's going to be a little dose of ground chuck. They fake the Boyk. Ford goes up the middle. He cuts to the outside. What a cut back to the inside. Then back to the outside. Scampering up to midfield. He might go. He's down to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat
touchdown.
Woo! In and out and in and out and back to the outside. Great downfield wide receiver block. What a superb 85-yard chunk of real estate to put an exclamation point on this game.
If I'm not mistaken, he did that last week on catching the pass, took it down the sidelines for a big touchdown. So 35-13, 6:15 to go here in the football game. You know,
what vision.
And he just bounced it outside, and he felt like, I got to get out there, and that's what he did.
Well, he went outside, he cut back to the inside, and then got he read the block of the wide receiver downfield in front of him, cut back out to the outside, and he found another gear.
Good key, good point right there. Downfield blocking by the wideouts, another good job.
Extra point is up, it's long enough, and it's over the band. And it's good. Time out of the field with 6:15 left in the ball. 37-13. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local destination for custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional goods in the Great Lakes Bay region. With not 1, not 2, but 3 convenient locations right here in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region, we're your MVP when it comes to branded gear that hits the mark. For over 15 years, we've believed in community, in delivering top-tier quality, and in making your brand shine brighter than ever. And guess what? We're not just about sports. From schools to clubs, from businesses to community events, we're your one-stop shop for custom apparel that makes a statement. So if you're ready to elevate your brand, to make an impact, and to fuel your passion, choose Sandlot. Visit us today at one of our 3 unbeatable locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, or check us out online at sandlotsports301.com. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your brand, our passion.
Back here on BCTV as the Bobcats come up with another really big 85-yard run by 40s. Like, hey, Hilborg, I don't want you to be the lone offensive star in this game. I'm doing great, too. And there's a deep kickoff all the way back to the 3-yard line, finally picked up by the Garber Dukes, trying to find a seam to get to the outside. Nice seam, but we got a penalty flag. Normally, you're going to have a hold or a block in the back. And then at the end of that play, looks like we had a little late contact going on as well.
There's a penalty flag on the field.
Yeah, that penalty flag's all the way back at the 10-yard line, 15-yard line, Jeff.
And that, I think it's at the 14-yard line, and most generally you're going to have a block in the back to spring that run. But what a great return, as the Garber Dukes are going to be penalized and are going to be back deep in their own end.
For the we have to go, Jeff, want to say a big thanks to athletic director here at Essexville Garber, Dave Schwartz, for all of his hospitality tonight and letting us come up and sit in this beautiful press box and a beautiful evening, and everything he does for Essexville Garber. And also want to say congratulations to Dave for being nominated into the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame class of 2025, November 9th at the Doubletree. BayCountySportsHOF.com.
It is going to be a great time on, the 9th of November?
9th of November,
It's a Sunday night, and tickets are still available. We'd love to have you come along, as Dave Schwartz will be inducted. Gain on first down of about 6 yards.
Was the ball carrier.
As that looked like, was that number 2, the ball carrier? I could not tell.
Nisek, it was Nisek. Looks like we have a new quarterback in for
number 11,
Essexville.
Quarterback for Garber.
Number 11?
I believe.
Nope. Yeah, it looks like number 11. So I can see number 5, Ethan Pett, on the sideline. Looks like number 11, and we don't have a number for him.
I would say he might be a 5th quarter kid from the JV squad. Coming up to play, Dakota Enda. All right. Where would we be tonight without the golden tablet? Just when we thought we had an idea what was going on, he's coming up with all these great names of people that aren't on the roster, but that's what makes him the magician that he is, and also part of the board of directors on the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame.
And a Hall of Fame member. He was inducted a few years back into the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, brother, all we're going to do one of these years soon is get you involved in it as a presidential award, and then we're going to have everybody in the booth that is going to be a member.
You get that done. You're doing some serious work, because I don't think that's no.
Don't be surprised, brother. We're going to make that happen. As our new quarterback runs the ball, and he might be close to that first down. I don't think he got the first down, though. I think it's going to be 4th down and half a yard.
Let's go short, you think?
Yep. So that will bring up 4th down virtually. Oh, they're going to give him about the length of a football away from the first down. So I think he got the length of a football and still needs one more.
Yep, 4th down and short. We're going to be right at 4 minutes here in the ball game, Jeff. Really, when you look at it, a tale of 2 halves also.
Well, and you got an offensive lineman going back onto the field that is a true warrior. Bray goes out to block, and he got hobbled up late, maybe rolled on. I don't know, late in that first half. That ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be around the 42-yard line. And it's going to be excellent starting field position for the John Glenn Bobcats again, as with 3:38 left in this ball game, the offense will come back on the field.
Yeah, that ball just took a quick left turn and went out of bounds. Good field position for the Bobcats with a short period of time left in this ball game. Talk about next week, Jeff. I know we'll talk about it in the postgame show. Just to let everybody know, next week, week number 4, we get the opportunity to go to that 100th anniversary celebration at Ingle Stadium. Bay City Central will be taking on the Midland Chemics in a very special game over there at Bay City Central.
Well, I want people to be alerted to the fact that early next week on Monday afternoon, we're going to put together about a half-hour special, and that's going to be broadcast on all forms of social media, trying to make sure that nobody can say that I didn't know anything about the game. So when you see it, please share it so that everybody has an idea. And there's a high pass on the outside, and that looks like that will be out of bounds. With 3:30 left, that thing just hung up in the air for a little bit too long, and looks like some of the Garber faithful are starting to head to the exit right now to beat the traffic. Again, jam-packed house here. What a great atmosphere for a football game tonight.
You couldn't pick a better atmosphere, Jeff. The weather is absolutely perfect. Two teams played very hard against each other, and the crowd was spectacular. Great night for football.
2nd down and 10. As the ball carrier up the middle. And a penalty flag down late. Trying to see if that was Hilborn again.
Yeah, it was.
Boy, with him just coming back from injury, I'd say he's done the lion's share of his work, averaging 13 yards a carry before that last touch.
Yep, he had a very, very nice football game tonight. So that penalty came after the play was over. It should be a dead ball foul. We'll just have to see who it is against. Looks like it's going to be against the Bobcats.
Dead ball, personal foul. Bobcats are moving back, and they understood. So that is a spot foul, and that will back them up to the 49-yard line.
3:20 to go in the football game, Jeff.
As the Bobcats on 2nd down right now have Ford as the running back. Rolling to the near side of the field, and just a little flat pass is going to go out. New receiver here.
Blake Francis.
Francis picks up the big chunk of real estate.
To Blake Francis.
And that will keep the clock rolling. They'll be under 3 minutes left in this game.
Tackle for Garber.
Nice job by Weezy getting out again. You know, and we saw that last week against Elma. That's his comfort zone when he gets out of the outside the pocket. He can really zing it. That's his comfort zone when he's on those sprint passes.
He surveys the field very well and makes good decisions. Ford, the ball carrier, cuts back across the grain, cuts the daylight. Are they going to be able to bring him down? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat
touchdown.
Well, I would say he's looking over at Hilborn saying, anything you can do,
I can do better.
So the two backs have got to have well over 300 yards between them rushing.
Yeah, I agree.
And what a fabulous night for that dynamic duo.
This 2:37 to go here, Jeff. 43-13, Bobcats up. And, all in the second half, they were just clicking on all cylinders in both the third and fourth quarters.
Boy, running up to 9:30. It's almost past our bedtime here. As the attempt for the extra point is a low one. They're going to have to improvise and try and make something happen. And Measy will throw that back across the grain. And that is caught by number 14, Landon Graham.
Penalty flag.
Might be an ineligible lineman downfield. That'd be my guess, depending on if that flag came.
Indication is an illegal man downfield
Yeah.
against John Glenn.
That play took so long to develop. Look at the Bobcats over there with the lights.
Oh, yeah.
I thought as long as they're not going down in the city, then I won't have a song to sing. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
They could have some of our reading lights going on over there.
That we invested in this year in case it got a little too dark up in the press box.
So now the Garber people are waving back to them with their lights. So it is a thing of beauty. They're going to back it up 5 yards here and have the replay on the untimed down. This one might have, the band members might need to watch out so one of the trombone players doesn't get it. As the extra point is no good. We got time out of the field with 2:37 left in the ball game. 43-13. John Glenn over Garber. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Founded in 1991, the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame is dedicated to celebrating and preserving the history of sports in Bay County. From individual awards to entire teams, we strive to induct the best of sportsmanship and outstanding achievement at the high school, collegiate, and professional levels. We also recognize our President Awards winner yearly, which honors an individual who gives their time to benefit the local sports community here in Bay County. As of 2025, the Hall of Fame has inducted 263 individuals, 70 teams, and has awarded $149,000 in scholarships to local student athletes. Join us in November for our annual induction banquet honoring our latest class of Hall of Fame inductees. Visit our website at BayCountySportsHOF.com for banquet tickets, lifetime membership, or donation, and like us on Facebook to keep up to date on all things Bay County Sports Hall of Fame.
Back here on BCTV, two running backs, 336 yards rushing tonight. What a dominant performance tonight. And that's with taking almost a whole quarter of football away with the Garber drive for a touchdown, which makes it even more impressive. Getting to the outside, up to the 42-yard line with a great return. Number 17 on the play. Not a 17.
Liam Ballard of the Bobcats.
Bell with the tackle, we know, but I think what they're using right now are some of those fifth quarter kids that the state has allowed. I believe last year was the first year they were able to play fifth quarter, and they can do that in football and in basketball. So it allows you to bring some of the JV talent up and fill spots of need on your varsity squad, plus give kids some quality snaps at the varsity level.
Glad I'm sitting close to that light switch, Jeff.
That's the third time tonight the lights have gone off in the press box. 1st and 10 for the Garber Dukes. Some changes going on right now, and what's the head linesman got for us?
Equipment.
We got a dead ball, illegal participation on the defense. So they're bringing off Solano, which is a great move. I mean, you need to get some other kids some snaps right now. Your studs need to stay healthy, and you don't want something crazy happening here at the end of the game. So 5-yard penalty, 1st and 5. Trying to run forward for a modest gain. A knee drop down at the 46-yard line. Jackson, the ball carrier.
Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 4.
So modest gain of a yard on the play as almost the entire defense has been replaced here in the last couple of plays, which is great. These kids work hard all week in practice. Good that they can get some meaningful snaps in a football game.
Going to be a big win for the Bobcats. Jeff's going to put them at 3-0. Duke's going to come out of here at 2-1.
Well, and they're going to wait for that back judge to go up with his 10 seconds, and now they're going to get into the offensive set. Trying to run to the outside. I think Jackson, the ball carrier again.
Lamar Jackson was the ball carrier.
Yep.
Tripped up by Isaac Kukulski.
Kukulski, amongst others, in on the tackle.
Kukulski, Geis is going out, and there goes Maxwell Johnson It's going to be sub 4. So we're at 113 and counting. And the John Glenn Bobcats will win this rivalry game. If I'm not mistaken, I think they won last year too over at John Glenn, if I remember correctly.
Yep, I think the last few years have swayed back the Bobcat way. I think for a few years prior to that, the Garber Dukes dominated this matchup. As the handoff.
Wow, that
Jackson
was a tackle.
just gets hit, but they will not need to run another play. And I believe both teams are just going to let that happen. As this game mercifully will come to an end. So the final 25 seconds, and again, no need as the student section from John Glenn are going to come around and might head to the far end of the field to thank their team and congratulate them on a great performance. As we are down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. That's all there is.
There isn't any more.
The final score in our ball game, the John Glenn Bobcats 43, the Garber Dukes 13. Back in a moment to put the wraps on this one on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back with our Frank's Great Outdoor post-game wrap-up. This was a close game at the half, but the John Glenn Bobcat offense asserted itself in the second half.
Yeah, they really did a nice job, Jeff. They just kind of opened it up. They weren't on the field for a very long time, but when they were, they really took advantage of the field position and all those offensive weapons they had to come out of here with a 43-13 win over the Dukes.
Hillboard and Ford, 336 yards rushing just with those two. That didn't account for another yard for any of the other Bobcats in this game.
Well, and that offense was not on the field that much in the second half, Jeff. They only had a few opportunities, but when they got on the field, they took advantage of it. And Hillborn did not play last week against Elma. He was injured. Ford did a nice job against the Panthers. But, man, now you got that two-headed monster with those two guys. John Glenn looked pretty good tonight.
Well, and Boyk really didn't have a whole lot going on offensively tonight. They didn't need to showcase him much, and their offense still just went and took huge chunks of real estate.
Offensive line did a great job. Measy did another good job passing the football, getting it to his receivers. And then they just ran the ball hard. And towards the end of the game, it was just, I think the Garber Dukes were a skosh tired and a big run by the Bobcats. So 43-13, Bobcats got the win. And then Garber next week's got to go over to, I think, to Frankenmuth and play the Frankenmuth Eagles, so it doesn't get any easier for Garber.
No, but I think when you look at the way Garber approached this game all week, I really think the things that they did, especially offensively, accomplished that goal. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They controlled the ball. They moved it. They controlled the clock. They finally got some points from one of their drives. So at the half, I mean, they actually had to have been very, very happy about how things were transpiring.
That game plan was, they did it to perfection in the first half, and you and I and a whole bunch of people talked in the press box. When's the last time you saw a team 10 minutes and 38 seconds off the clock on an offensive drive? That was their game plan, but when you have a game plan like that, you can't afford to get down because now you got to rush to try to get back in the game. So they did some nice things. Hopefully they'll come out of this with minor injuries. We saw some guys were kind of hobbling around with some cramps and stuff, but, I think they're going to be okay. But I was impressed with Garber. I think they played a really nice football game and did the things that they like to do.
Got a little chippy late, and it was definitely an extremely physical game on both sides of the ball.
Oh, these kids are putting a hat on you. They're going to be sore in the morning, Jeff. But, it does happen when you get rivalry games. You get really high, and you want to give your best effort. I thought both teams played really well. It was a great crowd, great weather for football. Everybody was having a good time. We had a nice pregame ceremony for Coach Tuck and that. So it was a good night for football here at Essexville Garber.
Again, we look forward at this point to Bay City Central and their 100th anniversary of football next week. We're going to have early in the week a little preseason pregame show to kind of get people warmed up for that. We hope everybody sees it and shares it. Would love to see that Ingalls Stadium next week filled to capacity.
It's going to be a special night, Jeff. You and I had a chance to talk with that committee that's putting this together, and we went over there and had a nice conversation with them. They got some really good, nice plans going on, so it's going to be a very special evening next Friday night at Ingalls Stadium.
Well, again, we put the wraps on this one tonight. John Glenn coming away with a 43-14 victory. That about does it for our Frank's Great Outdoors post-game wrap-up. On behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan along with Mike Wisdella. Another great job by producer, director, and our filming man tonight, Nick Page. Have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Next week at Central.